Hello YouTube, Junior Generic here, and welcome to my first fanfiction reading. Well, strictly speaking, it's not my first fanfiction reading, it is my second. However, it is the first one that I will be posting. This is Determination of Protection by the Generic Ficker. This is a fanfic I wrote 2 years ago. Please stay to the end, I've got a little surprise relating to this fanfic. So, we'll start with the intro. After being disturbed by Romani's behaviour during the third day of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Link resolves that when he goes back in time, he will save her. Just how far will Link go to keep the resolve? Mild Link Romani. Now, I will admit, where I started the video was a bit arbitrary, but I have my reasons, which will become obvious as we read this fanfic, if you haven't already read down to the decent majority of this fanfic. If you're reading this in full screen, you probably will be able to read as well as I am. But I'm rambling, so let's begin. Link has been challenged to a game of hide and seek by 5 members of the Bombers' Secret Society of Justice. So far, Link has found 4 of the 5 kids he is meant to find, and is now looking for the 5th one. While he is wandering around North Clocktown, he spots the final bomber's shadow peeking out from behind a tree. "Gotcha!" Link said when he caught up to him. "Aw, you finally found me," the bomber said. When they returned to East Clocktown, their leader, Jim, said, "You did it, so what's your name, guy?" "My name is Link," Link said. Jim replied with, "Link, huh?" Then added, "All right. That skull kid broke our rules and he's been doing all kinds of bad things lately. Starting today, he's out. I'm making Link a bomber. You guys don't mind, right?" The other bombers replied, "Right," while doing a strange dance. Jim then presented Link with a book, then went on with, "This is the Bomber's Notebook. It contains the words we live by. Read it over." "Thanks," Link said. "Don't mention it," Jim replied, then added, "Rules. Rule 1. Find troubled people and add their names and pictures. Only 20 people will fit in your book." Link nodded, and Jim continued. "Rule 2. Promise to help them. Mark promises with promise stickers. Never be late with fulfilling promises." "All right," Link said. Jim then added, "Rule 3. Whenever you solve someone's problem, it makes you happy, so a happy sticker will be added to your book." Link nodded. "Rule 4. No removing stickers. Use promise stickers to keep track of people until everyone is happy," Jim said, before adding, "Don't forget the rules." "I won't," Link said. Jim replied with, "All right then, I'll teach you our secret code. Ready?" Link nodded. Each of the bombers turned around and the code was revealed to be 43125. "All right, I will remember that," Link said, and he departed. Although Link was able to help various people, he was disturbed by one particular girl he encountered at Romani Ranch. When Link arrived at Romani Ranch, it was the 3rd day. He saw a mysterious girl sitting on a crate. She was shaking, had a strange look on her face, and seemed greatly traumatized by something. "Are you okay?" Link said, approaching her carefully. The girl muttered incoherently before asking Link, Who are you again?" Link found this creepy. He noted the girl in his book as Farm Girl, then left. After Link had reset time and he had gotten another powder keg, he went over to Romani Ranch to see if whatever had happened to that girl that left her so traumatized hadn't happened yet. He arrived on Milk Road. He found his way blocked by a huge boulder and a carpenter who was trying to break the rock. He transformed into a Goron and carried a powder keg to the rock. Both he and the carpenter trying to break the rock ran far enough away so they wouldn't get hurt by the blast. When the rock exploded, he turns to the carpenter who said, "Hey, as long as it's open to traffic, it's fine." Link then turned back into a human and proceeded into Romani Ranch. When he arrived, he saw the girl he had seen on the 3rd day, before he reset time, running around the area. Tattle, however, was looking at something else. "Look!" Tattle said, and Link, hearing Tattle's voice, turned to face her. "The traumatic event hasn't occurred yet," Link said, watching the girl. Tattle hit Link and said, "Not the girl, Link! Isn't that your horse?" Link ran up to the pen and said, "It is." He then walked over to the girl. She said, "Hey, who are you?" "I'm Romani. I was given the same name as this ranch. What's your name?" Link replied with, "I'm Link. Nice to meet you, Romani." "Link? That's a nice name, but," Romani said, then added, "How about Grasshopper? That's the name Romani gives you." "Grasshopper? Why would she call me Grasshopper?" Link thought. Romani, almost as if she was reading his mind, said, See, you're wearing green clothes and you patter about when you walk, just like a grasshopper, so grasshopper it is. Link then said, What were you doing? Romani continued with, Romani was practicing, but tonight, they are coming. Link wondered briefly if they that Romani was talking about were related to the state Romani was in on the final day. He became attentive again when Romani continued with, They come at night. Every year when the carnival approaches, they come riding in a bright shining ball. A whole lot of them come down. And then they come to the barn. Link reckoned that they steal the cows, and Romani continued with, My older sister won't believe me, but Romani must protect the cows. My older sister won't believe me, but Romani must protect the cows. And then it clicked inside Link's head. The cows and Romani were taken, and Link shuddered to think what they did to her to leave her in the state he saw her in on the final day. Link was so caught up in these thoughts that he nearly missed what Romani said next. Hey, Grasshopper, I'm recruiting for an assistant right now. You have a bow, won't you try? Of course I will. If you saw what I saw, yes would be the only answer. Romani looked at Link questioningly and said, What do you mean? Link quickly replied with, It's too hard to explain. Romani then said, Great, now that's the spirit, Grasshopper. Okay then, I'm going straight into my strategy. Link nodded and focused on what Romani was going to say next. They'll appear all over the ranch. They'll aim for that barn and approach it slowly, so hit them with arrows so they can't get in. You got that? And you must never leave the ranch. She then concluded with, Grasshopper, let's practice right now. There are 10 ghost-shaped balloons in the ranch, so hurry and burst them all. If you take over 2 minutes, you're out. All right, Link said. Romani said, The current record is 1 minute. Are you ready? And Link nodded. Link popped all 10 balloons in record time. 52.78. That's a new record, Romani said. She then added, You two work perfectly together. I'll teach Romani's horse-calling song to you, Grasshopper. She then sang Epona's song, and Link copied it on his ocarina. It is Epona's song, the song of two who are bound by trust, Romani said. She then added, When your arrow hits these, they will burst into nothing, but the real ones will keep popping up. If they get in the barn, we lose. They run away at the first light of the sun, so we'll keep having to fend them off until then. Did you get all that? Link nodded. Romani then said, The operation starts at 2. I'll be waiting in the barn. Don't be late. Link, noting in his bomber's notebook that he had taken on the job of nighttime assistant, rode away on his horse. While hunting down Zora's eggs in the pirate's fortress later that day, Link found a hook shot. Link had no idea just how important that hook shot would be in completing this part of the bomber's notebook. Link arrived back at Romani's ranch via the Song of Soaring a bit before 2 a.m. He found a crate on which he could stand on to give him a better view of the ranch. He decided, although he knew how insane he would make himself look as somebody saw, decided to try and make conversation with the moon. Hey buddy, how's it going? Link said to the moon. No response. What are you doing this fine night, moon? After a few moments, Link said, Oh, you've been reading the chapter of the Bible on the apocalypse. Ah, okay. And when the moon didn't respond, Link, getting annoyed, said, I'm just trying to make good conversation until it's 2 a.m, okay? Come on, there's nobody else to talk to. Link waited, having decided not to make conversation any more with the moon. He didn't have to wait long, however, before Romani left the house. Walking up to Romani and tapping her on the shoulder, she turned around to face Link and said, It's almost time. You take care of things outside, Grasshopper. You have a map. Watch your map carefully, okay? Whatever happens, do not let them get into the barn. They'll be coming from behind the barn too, so watch out. If you run out of arrows, we have crates of them near the house, so stock up when you need to. Romani then went inside the barn. Link then thought of something. If they really were aliens, and this may be because Link had most likely seen one too many alien movies, but the aliens probably came from a UFO, which would have a tractor beam to beam up the cows, and Romani. So if the worst was to happen, he had a hook shot, and he knew the song to call Epona. So he would grab Romani and, using the hook shot, he would get away from the tractor beam. He would then use Epona's song to call Epona and race away with Romani, escaping from them until morning. Just as he concluded his plan, however, a red star appeared flying around the ranch. The aliens started spawning, and Link knew what to do. As Romani had predicted, the aliens immediately made for the barn. Link fired off his arrows one by one and struck down the aliens. Initially it was easy, however about half an hour Link started noticing that a few of the aliens were going after the arrow supplies, almost as if they knew he would be needing replenishment. He managed to keep the aliens away from the barn at the front, but they managed to partially breach out the back while Link was distracted trying to stop other aliens getting the arrows. Just as he shot another alien, he heard another noise. Turning around, he saw the aliens making off with a bunch of arrows, and although Link was able to shoot them, he lost most of the arrows. Grabbing what he could, he went back to attacking the aliens. After about an hour, however, Link ran out of arrows. "Oh no!" Link said, and his alarm increased when one of the aliens breached the walls of the barn. He ran towards the barn and managed just to get inside before the wall was broken down completely. A UFO then appeared. Link only just managed to get a firm grip on Romani before the tractor beam started beaming the cows and both Link and Romani towards the UFO. "Link, what are we going to do?" Romani said. "Don't worry," Link said, getting out his hook shot. He fired it at the door and managed to get both of them away from the tractor beam. "They stole most of the arrows, so I ran out," Link explained. He then used Epona's song to call Epona and, making sure that the UFO was still beaming up the cows, got both himself and Romani onto Epona and rode off. While the UFO didn't chase them, the Red Star did. "Where are we going?" Romani yelled at Link as they ran down Milk Road. "There's a group of young boys who have a hideout on the eastern side of Clocktown," Link yelled back. The Red Star overtook them and generated aliens in front of them. "Link, look out!" Romani yelled. Link pulled Epona up, stopping just before they crashed into the aliens. Walking back a bit, Link said to Epona, "Alright girl, let's see what you've got." Epona cantered towards the aliens. Romani closed her eyes, ready for one or both of them to be thrown off, but it never came, and about a half-mile farther along, Link stopped Epona. "Are you okay, Romani?" Link said, turning back to face her. Romani took several moments to stop shaking, and she said, "Terrified." "Calm down, then hold me around the waist," Link said. "Right," Romani said, and she gripped Link around the waist, and as she was shaking, she made both Link and Epona shake. "Calm down, Romani, you're making me and Epona shake," Link said. Romani took a steadying breath and managed to mostly stop shaking. Link then called Epona to start running again, the star in hot pursuit, and now the UFO was catching up as well. Link had to defend both himself and Romani again at the foot of Milk Road. After taking the last alien down, Link said, pointing to Clocktown, "On the east side of there, that's where we are headed." Romani nodded, and Link, grabbing Romani's hand, pulled her towards Clocktown. When they arrived in South Clocktown, they found that South Clocktown is in chaos. The aliens were running around, presumably looking for Romani. When Link and Romani arrived, the aliens made an odd noise, and a familiar sound echoed. "Link, is that what I think it is?" Romani asked. "Oh no, yes it is! The UFO!" Link said. "Run!" he added, grabbing Romani's hand, and tore her towards East Clocktown and the Bomber's Secret Society of Justice. He only got about halfway before the USO started beaming them up. "Link, your hookshot would come in handy right about now," Romani said. Link got out his hookshot and aimed at the nearest building. He fired and managed to get them away from the beam. However, as they escaped, Link accidentally let go of Romani. She landed, but Link didn't know where, so initially he thought Romani had been taken. "Romani, no!" Link yelled, but as she yelled, "Link, I'm over here," told Link that Romani was still there. The tractor beam had sucked all the aliens up, and the UFO went higher into the sky until it was almost out of sight. The Red Star then reappeared as Link pulled Romani from the wreckage of one of the stands. "Are you okay?" Link asked, and Romani replied, "I think so." One of the guards then said, "Get to wherever you need to go. I'll hold the aliens off. Go!" And he pulled Link and Romani to their feet and pushed them towards East Clocktown. As they ran towards the Bomber's Secret Society of Justice's hideout, Link checked his watch. 4:30. There's still an hour and a half before sunrise, Link said, exasperated. "If I could just get to the hideout, we should be okay," he added. Just as they arrived, the Red Star returned, spawning 4 more aliens. Link said to the guard, "Let the girl in. She needs to be protected," and the guard nodded. Link struck down the 4 aliens, and he saw the UFO for the 3rd time. "Oh, come on," he said, and deciding to run for it, ran to the hideout, pulling the guard with him. When he arrived, Jim, shocked, said, "What's the situation?" "Hi, I'm Romani. I'm the one you need to defend," Romani said. Jim then replied, "Nice to meet you, Romani." "Okay, here's the situation. There are aliens out there after Romani and I, and although they are weak to arrows, I have no arrows," Link said. Jim nodded and said, "We have thousands of arrows, but no bow." "I have a bow," Romani said, getting a bow out. "How long do we need to hold out?" Jim said, and Link replied after checking his watch, "Another hour and 15 minutes. "Alright, we need people at the observatory end and at the entry end," and everyone nodded. "Let's go," Jim said. As the aliens entered the bomber's hideout, they were shot by Link. "Good shot, you really got it," Jim said. Over the next 70 minutes, they were able to shoot the aliens. 5 minutes, we're nearly there, Link said, checking his watch. I just hope the guys at the rear have been able to hold them off, Jim said. But just as he said that, the aliens stormed them and took Romani. Romani! Both Link and Jim yelled and took off, with every bomber in pursuit. Link shooting each of the aliens, but he didn't shoot enough, and two managed to get to the UFO. Link! Jim said as Link grabbed Romani around the leg and got out his hook shot as the UFO started beaming them up. This time, however, an alien kicked the hook shot out of his hand. The bombers then piled on, with the one with the iron boots on, and another bomber whose hands were between Link and Jim. Bombers, retrieve Link's hook shot! Jim yelled as they were slowly pulled towards the UFO. Even the bomber who had the iron boots was being slowly dragged towards the UFO's tractor beam. The last remaining bomber ran off, fighting his way through the aliens to try and get Link's hook shot back. Come on, Jim said as they were stuck close to the UFO. Guys, I think they've got us, Romani said, and Link sighed. I hate to say it, but I think they've got us, just as it looked like they were going to be captured. As Romani was starting to see the inside of the UFO, the sun started to peek out, and the UFO immediately dropped them, with the Iron Boots bomber hitting the ground first, with the fourth bomber landing on him, Jim landing on him, Link on him, and Romani on top. The aliens disappeared, and the other bomber returned with Link's hook shot. Here you go, he said, and Link replied with, thanks. After everyone had sorted themselves out, Link said to Romani, your sister's going to be absolutely terrified about you, so we had better get you back. Romani nodded, and Link used Epona's song to call Epona. As he helped Romani mount Epona, he said, thanks for everything. Romani repeated it, and Jim replied, no problem. Anything to help fill your book. Link then ran Epona and Romani towards Romani Ranch. When Link and Romani arrived at Romani Ranch, they dismounted from Epona, and almost immediately they hear a voice scream, Romani! From nearby. Looking towards the voice, they see Crimea running towards them. She ran up and hugged her little sister, then said, thank you, Link, for defending her. Link nodded, then said somberly, sorry about the cows. Crimea shook her head and said, I was so worried about Romani, but I'm glad that she is okay. Romani then walked up to Link and hugged him, which Link returned. You are so brave, she said. Thanks, Link replied before adding, I'll see you around then. And Crimea and Romani said, hopefully. Link then turned around and left on Epona. So, that is the fanfic for today. Oh, there is a little bit I need to add here. A little author's note that I didn't have originally. But I have decided that once I finish Legend of Zelda Revelations of the Twilight Realm, I am currently giving serious consideration to making a sequel fanfic, running a couple of years after the events of this fanfic. Any ideas you may have for this sequel, leave in the comments section down below. Rate and subscribe, and share this video around, and have a great day everyone.